the everyday gospel, in which Jesus said, "Go into all the world and preach the gospel and make disciples of every nation." We believe that that is not just the job of a pastor or an established church. In fact, it is the job of every believer to go into all the world and to spread the message of Jesus Christ. It's a hard thing to do, right? When you get to think about it, it's like, wow, how do I tell everybody about Jesus? When in reality, Jesus has made it very simple. In fact, when we look at his life, what did he do? He lived life in proximity to the people that he loved and cared about, and then through that, he showed them and told them about who God was. And that's exactly what we are inviting you to do with your culture. When we think about cultures, I think through the lens of 4 different habits that I'm trying to form in the way that I think. Question 1 that I ask myself is, who is the people or the culture that God has for me to reach? Who are the people that I associate? And who are the Christians that I am praying with for those people? The next thing is, who in that culture that I'm reaching am I bringing out to coffee, what we call second space, and having a bigger conversation? I'm building a friendship with these people. Third space is, and as they become spiritually curious, where are the crossroad conversations that we are having with them about who Jesus is, about spiritual formation, about discipleship. And as we begin to disciple them towards Christ, we get to ask them if they would like to come along in a similar relationship as we have with them with Christ. So we're just introducing them to our other friend, which is Jesus Christ. And the fourth question that we ask is, as we reach these people, should we be planting churches for these people? Now, it's great if there's a local established church which they can go to. But if there isn't, and you know that, then we need to start thinking through how do we start some smaller micro churches that will reach these people right where they are. If this sounds interesting to you, and if this is something that you want to be a part of, here on the Next Wave platform, we are forming cohorts around First Space. We want to develop a group of people that are experimenting in the culture that they're called to. Me and my wife are called to nerd culture. And in nerd culture, we're called to a specific, smaller sect of nerd culture. Nerd culture is big. But nerd culture for video gamers and board gamers still is very big. But we're called to the local gathering of board gamers around tables that we are trying to create spaces and communities in which we can see unsaved people and hear their story, pray for them, develop friendships, and then ultimately share Jesus with them in the long term. We call this at the pace of the Holy Spirit. Once again, I want to invite you on this journey with us. I want you to feel included in your spiritual conversation with whoever you're reaching. And I want you to feel confident that you are evangelizing the lost through whatever culture you are called to. Come with us as we explore this space and as we experiment in a very exciting and original to Jesus way. Thank you.